Hi, and welcome to another episode of Gary Talks. Today, I'm going to talk about the movies I'm looking forward to seeing in 2024.
Gary Talks Movies. Gary Talks Movies. Gary Talks Movies.
As I've said before, I didn't think 2023 was that great of a year for movies. Part of that was because of the strike. The studios moved films like Dune Part 2, which will be on this list, into the next year. So I'm hoping 2024 really improves on 2023. As I was putting this list together, though, I noticed almost every movie on here is a sequel, a prequel, some sort of established IP, and I was really annoyed because I hate sequels. I'm so annoyed at sequels. I'm so annoyed that we're not getting original content. And I was kind of mad at myself. Why am I only excited to see these movies? But really, so many movies that aren't established, I don't know about. I don't understand what this movie is, what's coming. So unless it's by a director that we already know, really, right now, the only movies I'm hyped to see are ones I already know the characters. So with that being said, I'm sure my year-end list, most of these won't be on it. But first, we'll start with a movie that I wouldn't say I'm exactly excited to see. I'm more worried to see. I'm scared to see. I'm nervous to see because I'm pretty sure they're going to screw up one of my favorite TV shows of all time. But fingers crossed, they do a great job with The Fall Guy. From watching the trailer, this looks like an amazing action comedy. Ryan Gosling can be truly funny, and while I don't always buy him as an ass-kicking action star, he can play that out of his element type action star very well. But do you know what this doesn't look like? It doesn't look like Fall Guy. This is Fall Guy.
Well, I'm not the kind to kiss and tell, but I've been seen with Farrah. I've never been with anything less than a 9. So fine, I've been on fire with Sally Field, gone past with a girl named Bo, but somehow they just don't end up as mine.
But here is what I'm hoping. What if the Ryan Gosling movie is almost a prequel? It shows us how a stuntman can become a bounty hunter in his free time. If the movie ends where Colt Seavers decides he's good at tracking people down, he opens a bounty hunter business, and the awesome theme song plays as he drives his sweet classic truck with the logo on the hood into the sunset, then I'll be a happy guy. That's the movie I'm super pumped to see. We're going to go from the movie that I'm kind of nervous, scared, excited to see, to the movie that I'm straight up most excited to see. And it was the movie I was most excited to see in 2023 as well, Dune Part 2. I didn't have high expectations for Dune Part 1, and I was blown away. It was the most beautiful film of 2021, and it was mind-blowing seeing it in all of its IMAX glory. I haven't read the books, but I have of course seen the David Lynch version multiple times.
Try looking into that place where you dare not look. You'll find me there staring back at you.
You mustn't speak!
So I have a pretty good idea where Dune Part 2 is heading story-wise, but I still can't wait to see it. It's going to be a feast for the eyeballs, and I'm counting down the days until we can see Austin Butler get his evil on. I was bummed when Dune Part 2 was pushed until March of 24, but it just means it'll be even more worth the wait. This is one we all need to see in IMAX. The next one that I really cannot wait to see is Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire. Much like with Dune Part 2's high expectations being due to how much I love Dune Part 1, my hopes for Frozen Empire are off the charts. I thought that Ghostbusters Afterlife was simply perfect. It was everything that I ever wanted out of a legacy sequel that also sets up new characters. See, you can make a movie without crapping on the characters the people know and love. So where do they go with Frozen Empire? Well, back to New York City for one. Will we get the OG Ghostbusters back? I know Ernie Hudson's in it. At the very least, we are going to get to see Gary Gruberson as a Ghostbuster, so I'll be grabbing my Jamocha and heading to see this on opening night. There are movies coming out that I'm really excited to see, but we don't know anything about them. You've got your Venoms 3, your Joker 2, Deadpool 3. When they come out, I'm going to be excited. I'll be first in line. I'll probably see them maybe a couple times if they're really good, but we don't know anything about them. All we know is we're going to see Lady Gaga. We're going to see Logan, Wolverine, We're going to see who knows what in Venom. Maybe Spider-Man, fingers crossed, but those are three that I can't wait to see. Another one that I'm really excited to see is Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. When I learned that 20th Century Fox was going to make another Planet of the Apes film, I wasn't exactly dancing in the streets. The Andy Serkis trilogy was so good, and I figured they were going to reboot the whole thing. But it turns out that isn't the case. Sadly, we won't get Andy Serkis back playing a new character. I was hoping maybe he'd be Cornelius. But at least this will be continuing that story. It sounds like this is going to take place hundreds of years after War for the Planet of the Apes, and Caesar is now some sort of mythical figure. This will move us a lot closer to the original Charlton Heston Planet of the Apes. I also wouldn't be surprised if we see a shuttle crash land in the post-credits scene. The CGI looks just as good as the last movies, and based on the first trailer, I think this is going to be pretty damn good. Will it top the previous three? Probably not, but if it can just be 75% as good, it'll be enjoyable. Two horror films I'm really excited to see are two kind of franchises that I'm late to the party on. The first is Terrifier 3. Like I said, I came really late to the Terrifier party. I saw pictures of Art the Clown online, but assumed Terrifier was just some low-budget indie and I didn't give it a thought. When Terrifier 2 came out and started making tons of money, I decided it was something I probably should see, but then never got around to it. Last year I ordered the fantastic versions of both films along with All Hallows Eve from Umbrella Entertainment and finally watched them, and I fell in love with the gore and Art the Clown. And now Terrifier 3 is going to be a Christmas movie? Could I be more in? And besides Terrifier 3, the other horror film I'm really excited to see is Maxine. I didn't get around to seeing X until long after Pearl had come out. I watched both in one sitting and I was mesmerized by the performance of Mia Goth. Or should I say performances. I certainly wasn't expecting the depth of Pearl, and now I can't wait to see what happens with Maxine. What the hell is the movie even about? Will we just be following Maxine after the events of X, or will Pearl be back? But with the amazing cast that Ty West has for this, I mean, look at these names. It's sure to be unforgettable. And finally, the last one that I really can't wait to see, and this is almost the same as Fall Guy because I'm pretty sure they're going to screw this movie up. It's Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire. I've gone on record that I didn't love Godzilla -1 as much as other fans. I know, blasphemy. I think I'll have to turn in my nerd card if I end up liking The New Empire more. But I'm all about giant monsters fighting, and I think we'll get plenty of that here. The scene in the trailer where Godzilla and Kong go running towards a battle looks laughably horrible, so the only question is, will this be so bad it's amazing, or just plain bad? Hopefully all of those movies are great, and we get a ton more good ones this year. Fingers crossed, 2024 is one of those years we look back on as a fantastic year for movies. See you next time whenever I talk about the albums I'm looking forward to in 2024.
Eerie Talks Movies. Eerie Talks Movies. Eerie Talks Movies.